Hey Phoenixes, welcome back. Daniela of Redesign Your Life, Reignite Confidence, Creativity, and Connection. I'm coming to you this evening with a topic that is near and dear to my heart. Each year, 12.7 million people discover that they have cancer. That means that even in this group, there are those who know someone who has been diagnosed or they've been diagnosed themselves. So this is no accident that I am bringing this up to you. Cancer, if you didn't know, is defined as a disease in which abnormal cells divide uncontrollably and then destroy body tissue. A dis-ease. You may remember me mentioning this in another session. This point is important because science is finally discovering what ancient wisdom has known for eons. Science is backing the magic. Now don't let me lose you. I consider this a very serious discussion, and it is connected with the mental, emotional, and spiritual, regardless of whether someone is willing to personally recognize it or not. The body is not a singular, separate mechanical unit that's unaffected by our mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. The mind, body, spirit are connected in the most intricate and interwoven of ways that modern man is just now only beginning to understand the full scope of. You'll recall that we just talked for 2 days about how stress in the mind has a very real and potentially serious effect on the body. So with that in mind, which as I've said many times, before, real science is supporting, a disease of the body is plainly understood by many of the traditional ancient cultures as dis-ease. 2 words, as in not at ease, not in the flow, having to do with the imbalance of the healthiness of one, 2, or all of those areas being mind, body, or spirit. Now, since we know, like we've discussed, that the mind is capable of having such an effect on the body, as in the example of chronic stress, disrupting the critical functions of your body's immune system, digestion, and affecting your emotional well-being, of your mood, motivation, and fear, it stands to reason that your spiritual health, how connected you are to the divine spark, how in the flow you can maintain yourself despite all of life's ups and downs, would also have an impact on your mental and physical health, one way or the other, whether positive or negative. Personally, I can attest to this. You may remember some of this from my Phoenix origin story video, my terrible state of mind, poor emotional health, and not taking care of myself physically, aka a terrible diet and no consistent movement. In addition to the oppressive living situation, I was ripe for physical dis-ease, and it manifested. I used to be able to say, I can eat anything, and I had an immune system like Fort Knox. Nothing bad gets out alive. Well, as I continued to not take care of my physical self, neglect my mental state, and let everything get to me and rip away my connection to the divine, just rip it away, my body began to fail. The digestive problems set in, the joint issues. I couldn't remember what I'd had for lunch, or if I'd even fed my pets. It was not good, Phoenixes. Not good. My downward spiral of poor mind, body, spirit health continued until I finally reawoke to the fact that these things are connected and that you simply cannot neglect any part of yourself. And that's where the physical creativity aspect comes into play. Now, I'm not saying that I can cure cancer. I don't want, to get out of compliancy or have the black SUVs rolling on my driveway. However, what I am saying is that there is hope. When someone is suffering with this dis-ease, that they can begin to bring these 3 major factors of our being into balance, it is possible for the body to heal itself. There is no one thing that will cure anything. But what does happen is creativity can be used as a healthy refuge from the intense emotions that come along with illness and suffering. There are no limits to the imagination in finding creative ways of expressing grief. But a healthy way, in particular, molding clay, has been found to be a powerful way to help people express their feelings through the tactile involvement at a somatic level, as well as to facilitate the cathartic release and reveal of unconscious feelings through symbols that just you can't express through words. So, for example, there's a woman taking part in a study that focused specifically on their lives with cancer. They described ongoing related difficulties such as fear of the future, pain, the sleeplessness, the role loss, the activity restriction, the reduced self-confidence, and the altered social relationships. Engaging in different kinds of visual art, including textile, card making, collage, pottery, watercolor, and acrylic painting, helped these women in 4 major ways. Now, this is a documented study, guys. Documented. First, it helped them focus on positive life experiences, relieving their ongoing preoccupation with the cancer. Second, it enhanced their self-worth and identity by providing them with opportunities to demonstrate continuity, challenge, and achievement. Super important. Third, it enabled them to maintain a social identity that resisted being defined by the cancer, which is huge. Finally, it allowed them to express their feelings in a symbolic manner, especially during chemotherapy. Ooh, there's my cat scratching on his post. So this isn't exclusive to those suffering with cancer, though. This applies to everybody, which is why I'm so adamant about offering my experience and my creative know-how with all of you. But to the topic at hand, if someone who is suffering were to take the mental, emotional, spiritual healing properties that creative activities, as evidenced in the many case studies, promote, and combine that with a holistic protocol, combining diet change, physical movement, as well as the input of their medical professionals, of course. It is my honest personal belief that the body is capable of healing itself in miraculous ways because of its interwoven nature with the divine that we're only now just beginning to understand. Now, as I said before, I'm not saying that I can cure cancer. However, what I am suggesting is that by working with a creative empowerment coach, such as myself, someone who is suffering would be able to ease the effects of their struggle by engaging in guided creative activities and then carry that training further into their lives and could potentially assist the mind, body, spirit into healing itself, as I've been able to do personally in my own life, though admittedly minor sufferings, as well as the numerous documented cases of the body repairing itself once the totality of the quality of life was being taken into account. Whew. I know that was a mouthful, and thank you so much for staying with me on that ride, but I felt it was an important topic to cover because I really do truly care about those who are suffering and believe in the self-healing powers of the mind, body, spirit, as you know, I've personally experienced it. So if you're interested in learning more about how creativity can help you breathe vitality and life and living with more ease, please reach out to me. I am here for you to offer you a helping hand, which we all need sometimes. I know how it feels to feel like you're alone and you're the only one who cares about how much you're going through. It is literally, quite literally, the reason I became a creative empowerment coach, because I know how it feels or how it doesn't feel. So it's my mission to help all of those who are suffering as I have suffered, to offer my knowledge and experience to you. So if you've been wondering if you should contact me, here's your sign, okay? Please do not hesitate any longer and endure alone another day, week, a year, you guys. We're crawling our way to the new year in under 25 days, 2018, okay? You already know what giving up feels like. Do you want to see what would happen if you don't? 2018 can be your year. I love you all so much from the bottom of my heart. I'll see you next time. This has been Daniela of ReDesign Your Life. Bye, you guys. I love you.